Good evening, friends. Thanks for your valuable comments on my videos on Twitter, Koo, and Twitter. I make sure that I read all of them and post them on social media. Today, we cover various news bits that will be of interest to you. The latest breaking news is that Anil Deshmukh, former Maharashtra Home Minister, has been summoned by CBI on Wednesday. Moving ahead in its probe into the allegations of corruption and misuse of office, the CBI has summoned former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh for questioning on April 14th. We've asked Deshmukh to record his statement on April 14th at our office here, a CBI official related to the probe told media. This is for the first time that CBI has summoned Deshmukh for questioning after it registered a preliminary inquiry on April 6th into allegations of corruption and misuse of office on the orders of the Bombay High Court. So friends, looks like things have started moving faster. After listening to the humble tale of the late Mumbai Super Cop Himanshu Roy yesterday, friends, we return to reports of the sheer arrogance of policemen like Sachin Waze. Speaking of his arrogance, an IPS officer told media recently that Sachin Waze would come to police headquarters in high-end private cars, issue orders to officers in any department, not respecting colleagues and not even saluting the senior police officers. Such arrogance makes a policeman more vulnerable in breaching the discipline. He was given a completely free hand by former Commissioner Paramveer Singh and was patronized to such an extent that he had become super arrogant. Remember how we spoke about Himanshu Roy, who was efficient, polite, and respected by all, including his juniors? Waze seems exactly the opposite. We recall the way he and his team behaved with Arnab Goswami in his house and during his detention. As many as 86 Mumbai police personnel, including 65 from the crime branch, were transferred days after Hemant Nagrale took charge as Mumbai Police Commissioner. The development also came amid the opposition cornering the government by citing a 2020 report by then Commissioner of State Intelligence Rashmi Shukla on a money for transfer scam in the State Police Department. The report allegedly named senior politicians, middlemen, and police officers who sought transfers and postings of their liking. While the state government has refused to comment on the report, senior BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis has approached the centre seeking a CBI probe into the matter. Having replaced Paramveer Singh on 17th March, Nagrale started by taking on these officials who enjoyed extended stay, serving for over 5 years in the same department for years. Within 6 days of joining, he transferred 65 crime branch officers. Explaining the motive behind the transfers, Rajkumar Vatkar, Joint Commissioner of Police in the administration, said, "The transfers of policemen are governed by the Police Act, where the prescribed service tenure is defined. Since crime branch officers require special skills which are acquired out of experience in the field, they were kept in the branch for a long time for administrative convenience. But of late, it is observed that some of the officers developed vested interests. An objective criteria was applied, and all the officers who completed 5 years in the branch at a stretch or have over 10 years of service with some break in between have been transferred out. Some officers in the EOW have been in the department for over 6 years by shifting their posting within the department during transfers. You'll note that it's very convenient because they pay for their postings or their, being in a particular department. The transfers in the EOW will take place during regular general transfers in June, rather than the immediate order and implementation in the crime branch. Joint Commissioner of Police Niket Kaushik recently issued an order to all EOW unit heads. The order read, possible transfer of those officers who are completing 4 years in EOW as of May 31, 2021 cannot be ruled out in upcoming general transfers in June. Hence, all unit heads are hereby directed that henceforth not to give such officers the investigation of new cases. According to the report, the EOW officers expecting transfers are now busy winding up old cases that are with them for years. About 45 to 50% of posts of EOW officers will be vacant after transfers. These posts will be filled up by new officers, said an EOW officer. The report further added that along with the crime branch and the EOW, other important departments at the police headquarters would be covered in the cleanup drive. Police personnel posted in various departments that look after the licensing and permission for dance bars, permit rooms, hotels, and other establishments would also be transferred if serving at the same office for long periods, said an officer. A senior IPS officer said the commissioner's cleanup drive aims to uproot the nexus or connivance of policemen with the wrong elements that ultimately encourage corruption in the police department. Such nexus or connivance makes policemen overconfident and makes them indulge in unethical practices, which eventually would lead to another API Sachin Waze-like episode that has brought tremendous embarrassment, shame, and disrepute to the forces. Nagrale said, when it's done, when asked about the plans, declining to comment further on the transfers strategy in the EOW and other departments. Transferring policemen doesn't mean that all those who have been transferred are corrupt. Many of them serve the force exceptionally well and earned respect, name, and fame. The practice of transfers is aimed at sending out a message that it is a system that has made them big and achieved expertise in a field, and not vice versa. Another IPS officer elaborated. News also came in that during an ED investigation, it was discovered that Sachin Waze and his Mumbai police associate extorted rupees 30 lakhs from BARC. Tainted Mumbai police, Sachin Waze had surfaced in the ED's investigation into the television rating points manipulation scam. Now, suspended Waze, through an assistant inspector of the Mumbai crime branch, had extorted rupees 30 lakhs from the Broadcast Audience Research Council, BARC, for not harassing its executives as per the investigations by ED. BARC has shown in its books that it has been awarded some construction-related work on its premises, for which it had transferred the money to the account of a dummy company. Following this, the money was layered through 4 more shell companies. Thereafter, it was transferred to a Hawala operator's bank account, from where the amount was returned to BARC in cash, which then handed it over to Waze's associate. ED has already recorded the statement of a BARC employee and senior company executive who have confirmed the extortion by Waze. However, it should be noted that ED is still to question Waze and his associate. Meanwhile, the NCB has summoned fugitive Underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim's aide, Razik Chikna, days after his brother Danish was nabbed by the agency in Rajasthan. The NCB has summoned fugitive Underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim's aide, Razik Chikna, to its Mumbai office. The summon comes after Razik's brother was nabbed. After his arrest in connection with drug cases, Danish was brought back to Mumbai on April 2. In a joint statement, the NCB and police said that Danish Chikna managed the drugs factory of gangster Dawood Ibrahim in Maharashtra's Dongri. Drugs were seized from his vehicle. A total of 6 cases, including that of murder, are registered against him. Warrants were issued against him in 2 cases, said the statement. In March, NCB sleuths had conducted a raid at the Dongri-based den of the notorious drug trafficker in South Mumbai. The agency claimed that the Chikna gang is presently active and runs an organized drug network in Dongri and surrounding areas. An NCB officer had stated that Danish's brother Razik is also involved in the drug trade and is considered to be a pioneer in introducing MD drugs in Dongri. Back in January, NCB busted a drug factory in South Mumbai, allegedly owned by gangster Dawood Ibrahim's aide Chinku Pathan. Drugs worth crores, cash, and firearm reserves were recovered from the factory located in Dongri, which was once a stronghold of Dawood and his associates. Days after the raid, NCB arrested gangster Arif Bujwala, an aide of Dawood Ibrahim's brother, Anis Ibrahim. The NCB launched a manhunt for Arif, sending lookout notices to all airports and ports after he managed to flee during the raid in Dongri. Arif and Chinku are known to be directly associated with the drug network run from the Middle East by Dawood Ibrahim's brother Anis. In the last 5 years, it has now been estimated that Arif has allegedly managed to accrue assets worth 100 crores, rupees 100 crores, from the drug network alone, and also keeps traveling to Dubai. Meanwhile, in the Sunanda Pushkar case, a Delhi court today reserved its order in a case relating to the death of Sunanda, wife of Congress MP Shashi Tharoor. The court will pronounce its verdict on April 29. Tharoor is an accused in the case. The Delhi police has charged Tharoor with abetting the suicide of his wife Sunanda Pushkar, who was found dead in a Delhi hotel, which is Leela, in January 2014. The couple was staying in the hotel as the official bungalow of Tharoor was being renovated at that time. That is what was said. Tharoor had earlier told the courts that he should be discharged as various investigations have been conducted by experts, but they have not given a definite opinion on the case of death, on the cause of death. Shashi Tharoor, who is represented by senior advocate Vikas Pahwa, sought discharge in the case, saying that there was no evidence against him to prove the offence punishable under either section 498A, which is a husband or relative of husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty, or 306, which is abetment of suicide of IPC. Tharoor has been charged under sections 498A and 306 of the Indian Penal Code, but was not arrested in the case. He was granted bail on July 5th, 2018. Meanwhile, Maharashtra government defers class 10 and 12 state board exams due to a surge in COVID cases. Varsha Gaikwad, the Maharashtra Education Minister, said class 10 and class 12 board exams will be deferred as Maharashtra is the worst COVID-19 affected state in India. Class 12 exams, the minister said, will take place by the end of May, while those for class 10 will be conducted in June, adding that the state government is closely monitoring the health situation. The decision is the outcome of consultations with various stakeholders, including students, teachers, parents, elected representatives from across parties, academicians, and tech giants in the wake of rising coronavirus cases, she posted in a subsequent tweet. The self-proclaimed queen of India, of Indian TV soaps, Ekta Kapoor, who has been known to manipulate everything from scripts to live shows to get her point across at any cost, is now in the news for plagiarizing posters. She is used to such open attacks and FIRs. In fact, there were many FIRs against her. One complaint was that Ekta Kapoor's OTT platform, Alt Balaji, streamed erotic web series XXX Season 2, which not only spreads obscenity, but also hurts the religious feelings of a particular community. She went further to create one more production house for digital media, Alt Balaji, which is for youngsters, where soft porn series are shown regularly, indicating that Indian youth have no other interest except in sex and violence. These series have garnered a flack for degrading the forces as well. But this lady receives the highest protection. She shakes her ringed finger and political bigwigs run to help her and even make videos of her on her birthday. Such is the adulation, not for her, but for her money. Remember how Ekta Kapoor was accused of plagiarism by a Hungarian artist for Judgmental Hai Kya poster in 2016. Laura Bossi, a Hungarian digital artist and photographer, had accused the makers of the film of plagiarism. She alleged that they had copied her work for the poster of copying her trademark style. She tweeted, "This movie poster plagiarized my art. Could someone explain what's happening, please? This is not right. Judgmental Hai Kya Balaji Motion Pictures," she tweeted. The artist, who has verified accounts on both Facebook and Instagram, also shared a collage on social media comparing the said poster and another photograph, which she said is her piece of artwork. She said, "They didn't ask for permission, nor reached out to me. It's a shame for big companies plagiarizing freelance artists' work. The poster in question shows Kangana's face, which is half covered with a cat, while Rajkumar's Rao's face is covered with a mouse, an indication to the cat and mouse chase, which the movie is all about. Rajkumar had shared the poster on his Twitter handle on July 26th, the same year. The same accusations have come again, as a poster of his story was copied from the artwork of Love. Producer Ekta Kapoor's streaming platform, Alt Balaji, on Sunday apologized and removed the poster of his story from its social media pages after filmmaker Sudhanshu Sarya alleged it was copied from the artwork of his film Love. Sarya, who bagged the National Award for Best Direction last month for his feature Knock Knock Knock, took to Twitter over the weekend and shared the poster of his acclaimed 2015 same-sex romantic drama, which featured the film's two leads lying in an embrace. The poster of his story shared by Alt Balaji on its social media pages also showed the central characters in a strikingly similar position. Sarya called out the streamer for blatantly copying his poster and wrote, "The culture of plagiarism, plagiarizing an artwork must end." Now, another Ekta Kapoor Alt Balaji's poster for The Married Women and main hero Bol Raha Hu have been accused of plagiarism. When will this lady learn that you can't copy others' creative ideas and claim them as yours? A Twitter user, Jahan Bakshi, pointed out the close similarity between the posters of Ekta Kapoor's show with that of international projects. While The Married Woman's two creatives look like a copy of Kate Winslet's film Ammonite and Persona, upcoming series Main Hero Bol Raha Hu, the latest poster features Patra Lekha, seems to be a ripoff of Netflix series Hollywood. After being called out on social media by Love writer and director Sudhanshu Sarya and several fans, Alt Balaji had shared a statement that it was looking into the matter diligently. Very amusing. However, on late Saturday evening, filmmaker Vikramaditya Motwane criticized Ekta Kapoor's production team for alleged plagiarism, leading the digital platform to delete the poster and apologize publicly. Vidhi Dogra and Monica Dogra Tara, The Married Woman, released last month and was about same-sex love. And an upcoming period drama, Main Hero Bol Raha Hu, has Parth Samthan playing the lead role of a Mumbai gangster and his rise. So what will Madam Ekta Kapoor do when she receives an FIR for a controversial sex scene in her erotic web series or plagiarism of posters? Well, she'll do the next thing, which is delete the scene and apologize for hurting people's sentiments unintentionally, and then go on to make more such series and copy posters. She can safely break a million rules and get away with just about anything. Interestingly, once the Supreme Court gave her an interim protection from arrest, and also said the sensitivity of Indian audiences have evolved during the ages. Money can buy power and powerful relationship. From the list of lawyers who represent her, like Harish Salve, Mukul Rohatgi, and Siddharth Luthra, and prominent politicians who are very close to her, this is what makes her escape from the clutches of law each time. When ordinary people are jailed and tortured, she remains very well protected. That's all the news for today, friends. I'll have a look at your comments as well. Gurupada Jaina, nearly 90% of Bollywood went to TMKOC, but Sushant didn't go. Why? Puchta hai Bharat. Sushant was not called or invited to TMKOC. Could you just elaborate on that, Gurupada? Dhruv, you're a great inspiration for all of us. Thank you, Dhruv. Thank you always for joining us. Bharti Vats. Yes, it seems like someone big supports her. Yes. Gurbinder, let's say no to Bollywood. And until justice is served to Sushant Singh Rajput, no Bollywood. So that we hit their financial pockets. I think this is the best thing to do, Gurvinder? Okay, Gurupada. Tarak Mehta ka Ulta Chashma. Okay. Yes, boycott Bollywood. Yes. Yes, Gopal. Good evening, Manraj. Hello, Dhruv. Hello, Prakash. Reena, always nice to have you. Missed your live session yesterday. I didn't get the notification. Thank you for joining me today. Party, namaste from Namibia. Namaste from us. Good evening, Parul. Good evening, Dean. Ramata, all of them should go to jail. Lakshman, good evening, Lakshman. Yes, for killing SSR, Ramata and Disha. Good evening, Neeta. Good evening, Kalp. Hello, Alka. Hi, Dilwan. I think very few people are watching it, Vihan. And see, the bulk of the people have decided to boycott it, and that's happening. And that's why all these actors are getting frustrated, the producers and the actors and the directors. Good evening, Maimun. Hello, Sherry. This time, like today, I have not felt much of a problem because what happens is after the vaccination, we take a Panadol or a paracetamol. So that helps a lot. But I'm not sure because last time when I took the first one, the second day I had fever. So I'm not sure how it will be tomorrow. You feel rather sleepy, and also with slight fever. So the best thing is to combat it with Panadol and lots of water, and not to have any fried food. Just simple, normal ghar ka khana. Lakshman, after seeing the recent developments, I think the culprits will be the end, but what about the big boss? It's all leading to that, Lakshman, I'm sure, because things are moving fast now. Gadi Cherla, they're ruling India with bad deeds, yes. But see, this the transfer of so many police officers I see it as a very good step. Rekha Nair, hello from Kuala Lumpur. Hello, Rekha. Thank you for joining me. Play with Vihan. I'm Mario crime reporter. No, it's just that I'm interested in a lot of following on up on a lot of crime. No, I do a lot of stories on every kind of subject because it interests me basically. One word for Ria drugs both. You've already described her in the second second word. Play with Vihan. Thank you, Dhruv. I'm fine. Anil Deshmukh summoned by CBI. Yes, we reported that in the beginning. Let's see what they will find out now. Akshat Rajput, will there be huge riots when Penguin will be arrested? Let us see, Akshat, what is going to happen. Maimun, yes, ma'am, need to boycott Bollywood movies. Justice for Sushant and Disha. Maimun, see, what's happening is, for the first time, I think in India, people have taken a collective stand, not only in India, but all over the world, that unless Sushant gets justice, we are just not going to watch movies that are made by people like, who are involved in these crimes, and they hide their faces behind. So we know there are a lot of people who are involved in this crime, and they are making movies, and they are, forcing us through their PR to watch these movies, which most of the public is not doing. So I think it's a very good move because that can make them bankrupt. Thank you, Vihan. Can you please expose Dream 11 Fantasy app? If you could tell me a little bit about it, then we could look at it, Vihan. If it's Romano. Good morning, ma'am, all the way from Guyana. I'm a big fan of Sushant. Thank you, Romana. Welcome. Nice of you to join me. Friends, whenever you feel that this channel is worth watching, please subscribe and also share it with your friends. It gives me a big boost. Maimun, thank you. Stella Francis, for Christians, it's time now of apocalypse coming. Big unveiling to truth. I think it is, yes. I think that's about it, friends. I'll catch you again tomorrow at the same time. Good night. And thank you.